Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to design a 10 unit bridge with pink in Exocad, and we are going to use my brand new library Forma. In this video I'm going to show you how to bring teeth in the correct position, how to turn crowns into pontics so you don't have distorted crowns when adapting to the margins of the abutments, and I'm going to show you how to remove connectors at mid stage. First, I like to check the scans to see where temp cylinders are located. In this example, we are only going to use 3 temp cylinders. But for a correct try-in, you should always use all the implants to check the passivity between them. So I like to check where the temp cylinders are located, just to properly assign the anatomic crowns in the dental project. So as you can see here, this one is located around the canine, this one around the central, and the other one probably around the canine or the first premolar. So I select the canine, the 13, select anatomic crown, zirconia. Well, in this case, because it's a try-in, it's going to be a PMMA. I select screw retained, and I'm going to select don't use scan body. I select this option because the temp cylinder is already scanned, and we are not going to use scan bodies. We are going to follow a temp or a previous denture. So I select pre-op model, I select extra gingiva scan, and because we are going to add pink, I'm going to select virtual gingiva. If I don't select it here, later on in expert mode, I'll have to select it manually to start the step. I select OK. And now I copy all the settings by pressing Ctrl and left click on the central and on the other canine. That's where the temp cylinders are located. Now I select the pontics, select anatomic pontic, and I select virtual gingiva, pre-op model, and extra gingiva scan. Select OK. And I'll select the settings that I define on the first pontic to all the other pontics. I select adjacent tooth, save the project, and start designing. Now the software asks me to bring the upper jaw, which is the working model. I select upper, I select the pre-op, which is the temp denture, the upper gingiva, and the antagonist. Check if the model is in the correct orientation and go next. This step is to align the pre-op with the working model, but because it's already aligned, I'm just going next. I skip this step, we don't have any pictures, and now I'm going to select the margins. Now the best way I usually do to correctly place the screw channel is to look at the temp cylinder from the top with no undercuts, like if you were looking at it like right from above it, and set to view direction, and you'll have the screw access hole perfectly aligned with the axis of the temp cylinder. I do the same for the others. So as you can see, the temp cylinders are quite divergent from each other, and we will need to define the insertion direction individually for each temp cylinder. So to do that, I come here, I untick this box where it says unique insertion direction for bridges, and now each temp cylinder will have its own insertion direction. You can improve a bit, just make sure you don't have much undercuts, and select for each individual tie base or temp cylinder its own insertion direction. Select proceed anyways. And now at this stage you can select the settings that best suits your milling machine or printing machine. In this case I'm going to leave it as it is, and I'm just going to adjust these parameters, which will define how well the bridge will come out from the temp cylinder, basically out of the margin of the temp cylinder. Go next. Skip these steps. Now we come to the tooth placement stage, but before that, I always like to do some custom views to help me find the midline and position correctly the midline, and also to position the incisor length of the interiors. So first I set the front view. I use the background grid just to help me define better where the midline is going to be, and the horizontal plane. And now I'll set another custom view from the occlusal using the same line that I used from the front view to define the midline. This is just something I like to do to make the work so much easier. Now I'm going to select my new library Forma. This library is my latest library, and I want to use it here to show its potential, and also later on I'm going to show that although this library might look rounded, you can always make them look flat. For today's case, I'm actually going to use the preset where the teeth are already in the correct position. So as you can see, they are all misplaced. It happens all the time with all the libraries for some reason. And if you want to bring them already in the right position, you go to expert mode, you right click on the background, and you're going to select load custom model teeth. Now you go load from file, and when you get the library, you're going to have these exact folders. So to get the teeth, the preset teeth in the right position, you select this folder, and inside you're going to have all the teeth, they are already in the correct position. So I'm going to select the teeth I need for this case, which is 5 from each side, so from the 11 to the 15 and from the 21 to the 25th. If you don't want to be selecting like individually, you can select the whole thing, and the system, it's only going to bring up the teeth that you selected in the project. So you can either do this way or just select every teeth. Now they're going to come like this. They're already pre-positioned. Select OK. You select yes for use, and you select yes. And now you have the teeth in a nice arch, and you go back to tooth placement, move all simultaneously and bring them into position. Now let's just try to put them more or less in the correct position by scaling them and position them, always having the temp as a reference. For tooth length and tooth proportion. Now if you compare the tooth library comparing to the temp, it's not very similar, but you can always turn a rounded shaped tooth into a square one by using this tool here, which make them much flatter. So I drag to the flat side of the scale and they become square, just like this. You see, by dragging to the flat side, the teeth become square. And now I do the same for the posteriors, and with this they're gonna look much closer to the temp. Now in the tooth placement, usually I like to just dedicate to one of the sides and then copy, mirror it to the other side. So first I'll adjust this central and all this side, position it in the correct position, scale it and tweak it until I'm happy, and then I'll just do copy symmetry to the other side later on. In the tooth placement tool, in the advanced tab, you're gonna have many tools to shape the teeth, inclusive this freeforming tool inside the tooth placement, which is very useful to drag and play around with the tooth shape. And it's very useful to close the gaps between the teeth. So we don't want to have any gaps, black triangles, especially because I'm gonna add pink later on, and usually I like to have the teeth quite close together so we don't have like small holes or open gaps. Now I just go to freeforming. Because we are in the expert mode, I can just jump around between stages. So I go to freeforming just to reduce a bit the roots because they were too bulky. Because I'm dedicating so much time on one of the sides, I'm going to use the tooth placement and the freeforming to make it as close to what I want as I can. So then I can just copy to the other side and everything is going to look so much better. Now here, as you can see, the premolars are a bit misproportioned, so I go to tooth placement, I go to the advanced tab, and on the first tool I will click shift left click and I'll drag to make them to the right proportion, keeping the buccal side in the same place. I also use the cut occlusion tool to cut automatically the occlusion, and then I can drag down to check if it's too strong in the occlusion. So now that I'm happy with the right side of the patient, I go to tooth placement. I go to the chain tab. I untick these two boxes. You only need to untick these two first boxes. You go back to simple mode. You click undo twice, so they go back to the initial position. Go back to chain mode and select the symmetry button on the upper left side of the button, right here. The teeth are copied to the other side, but now they are misplaced, so you go back to simple mode. You click move all simultaneously and you control right click on the teeth that you don't want to move. They become white, so they are in place, and then just place the other half arch in the correct position. So the midline is a bit too open, so I close it a bit. Go back to freeforming. I adjust the proximal contacts, so it helps on the symmetry, so they don't get misplaced. Now, use the same technique, copy to the other side. So at this stage, the most important thing is to make sure that we have symmetry to both sides. Now, as you can see, I copied from the right side, and here on the left side, you're going to notice that the space is so much bigger than the other side. So I'm going to make the canine and the premolars a bit bigger. I'll try to spread the space between those three. I'll avoid touching on the laterals and the centrals because that's the most aesthetic part. Try to spend as much time as you can to make the bridge as perfect as you can get it, just jumping around between tooth placement and freeforming, and then once everything is in the correct place, we just move to the gingiva and make a beautiful bridge. Now here, this is a very important stage. After you are happy with the design, if you go forward and you try to adapt the teeth, the canines and the central to the temp cylinders, you're going to see that one didn't even adapt, and the central and the canine adapted, but they are closed. And this is because when I brought the preset comes as pontics. All of them are pontics. And in actuality, the canines and the central, in this case, they are not pontics, they should be a crown on implant. So because of this, you always need to open those crowns that are going to be attached to an implant or a prep. And to do that, first you go back, you go to expert mode, you check which crown should be implant crowns. So it's the canine, the central and the other canine. You select them, you right click, edit mesh, and now you just open them up on the base, like a normal crown. Delete, and now they are open. Now if you go back to wizard, you go next again, and they adapt to the margin of the temps. Now it worked. As you can see, they are adapted and there is a hole, but you can also see that they look horrible. They got dragged around and pulled to the sides. To avoid that, you go back again. In theory, you should have done this before adapting to the temp cylinders, because now they are all in the correct aspects of themselves. So the pontics are pontics and the crowns are crowns. You right click on the background, you go to library models to pontics. This tool is going to make the crowns that are open become pontics, but this time they are going to become truly pontics. Before they were pontics, but they were assigned as crowns. Now they will be pontics, and now all of the crowns are pontics, which means they won't be adapting to the temp cylinder, and they will behave like a wax-up design, like if you were in the project and you selected wax-up crown instead of using anatomic crown. So in theory, I could have selected anatomic wax-up, but this is a way to show you that you can turn anatomic crowns into anatomic wax-ups without starting over and changing the project. So as you can see, we went forward and nothing adapted, and now we're going to do the virtual wax-up bottom. Now we do the gingiva base. We just select around the crowns and the abutments. We go next. We tick all this to have freedom designing the gingiva. Now the first thing I like to do is to bring the pupillas to close all the black triangles and to shape it more or less to have a nice natural shape to them. So build the back, build the front, bring down to have a nice neck. At this stage, make sure that you have the necks symmetrical from one side to the other. Don't have like a neck shorter and then one longer. Just make everything in harmony. Spend some time shaping it, building up the back to make it stronger. Now in the project I left selected the connectors, but in this case, because we're gonna have Gingiva, we don't really need the connectors. So you can either go to expert mode, tools, change reconstruction type and deselect all the connectors, or later on, as I'm going to show you, you can just select an option when you are in the connector stage, which is across, and it's so much easier than doing this. So I'm gonna show you at the later stage. Now I go back to freeforming just to close the proximal contacts and to make sure that I have a bit of contact, because then it's going to make the interproximal merging so much nicer. So I apply a minus 0.01, so I'm sure that there is going to be a contact. I'm just going to change the minimal thickness to have a better shape on that area where the temp cylinder is too buccally placed. So at the connector stage, you just need, as you can see, it brings all the connectors to all the teeth. And you just need to select the cross and apply cross section. And then the connectors disappear and you can go next. Now everything is going to get merged together. And at this stage, you have the freedom to change everything together. So you can change the teeth and the gingiva all at the same time. And this is very helpful to change sometimes the necks. If you want the neck longer, if you want to change the shape of the neck. If you want to adjust the occlusion as well, you can adjust it here. So I'm going to smooth this transition. So this case, it's going to be a try-in, and when doing a try-in, you don't want to do pressure on the soft tissue. You just want to see the passivity between the implants, and you want to check the aesthetics, and you want to check the occlusion. So you want zero pressure on the soft tissue, because the try-in is going in on the appointment, and then it gets out and goes back to the lab. Now you can play around with the necks, you can shape them better if you want, if you don't like the way they look, the pupillas. You have all the freedom at this stage. Just gonna add some contacts everywhere just to make sure they are balanced. Now I'm just gonna do some shaping on the gingiva. So I like to start with a thin tool with a knife point and just do a groove around the teeth. Then do some grooves between the teeth to represent the roots, and then just shape it just to have some life to it. Then with the thin tool and medium strength, you just do some stippling, just to give the looks of an orange peel. And then if you feel creative, you can do the frenum as well. Don't make it too bulky, just make it very faint. Now, because I don't want any pressure on the intaglio surface, I just go basal and I apply a 0.05 just to make sure there is no contact in there. Now once you're happy, you go next and make sure you don't have the screw access channel walls, and you select off in this option and you go next. Proceed anyways. Because this is just a try-in, I'll just leave the holes coming on the buccals. Later on, we're gonna need to angle them back. Now, if you like this video, you might want to learn how to do two full arches in 15 minutes, so watch this video next.